Should Son have been considered? I think he should have been considered.
Definitely, like, that's a 23 goals, no penalties scored. Like,
Facts.
You're telling me I was in top
season.
6 player, and it's not like he didn't even assist. He almost got double digits in assists as well.
Excellent season
Yeah,
for
Son
him.
robbed.
Yeah,
Justice
robbed.
for Son, you mean?
What up, what up, what up? Sangalo is back. And on today's episode, we have so much to talk about. First up, let us start with the NBA Finals, Game 3. Looking forward to Game 4, but Game 3 itself was very interesting.
Yeah, Game 3 was very interesting, and it was a very pivotal game in the series. Of course, after the 2 games in the Bay Area were split 1 each, Stelton stole a road game, and yeah, it was a pivotal game. Son could go 2-1 up, and what do you think of the game?
At the end of the day, I felt justified because I really, really want Celtics to go through and win the finals. Best of 7, they're currently 2-1 up. In this game, we had, of course, Golden State Warriors came with their normal. They're like the best team in NBA in the third quarter. They came strong, but you know, Celtics were able to.
Yeah, the Celtics snuffed it out, and big performances from Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum has surprised me. I expected him to be the leading man for the Celtics, but it turned out to be Jaylen Brown, and the role players have stepped up big time. They defended their home court. Game 4 is going to be massive. I think this game is going 7 games. This series is going 7 games.
It looks like that kind of game. But talking about the main man for Celtic, there's not one particular player like you said when you said you were expecting Jason Tatum. Many other people too were expecting Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and Jason Tatum are they're sharing it. They're sharing the responsibilities amongst themselves. And there was an interesting start from Game 3, right? The 3 of them were or are the first set of players to score 20 points and 5 rebounds in the same game in an NBA Finals since 1980-something, when I think Michael Jordan and some of that.
That's impressive.
Crazy.
And watching it, you could kind of tell like the way they just physically dominated the Warriors, and that's kind of what you expected coming into the series. They cleaned up on the offensive glass, the defensive glass, and yeah, they got the results. And if they keep playing that way, you would expect them to win the series. Like,
yeah, pretty.
They're the younger, more athletic, more physical team, and they're actually a good team. They're not just a bunch of athletes.
Yeah,
like, they know what they're doing, and they're well coached.
Very, very unfortunate for the likes of Stephen Curry. He had an injury scare in that one. He scored a lot. He scored many points. Him and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, Klay had a big
points.
game, his biggest game of the series. So it was great to see Klay back doing Klay things, but that wasn't a loss. It's a bit upsetting for him.
But we're hearing that Stephen Curry is good to play Game 4. I hope this guy fell on his leg.
Yeah, he's good. He says he's good. Steve Kerr is good, so I have no doubt he plays.
Yeah, let's see how that one pans out. Game 4 on Friday, and yeah, will be interesting to see. But moving on from that, let us go into football, where we're hearing massive news, especially in transfers with Liverpool and Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez likely to come into Liverpool. Sadio Mane likely to leave.
But yeah, that deal is it's picked up a lot of steam recently, but there's still a little bit of doubts around it. First of all, apparently it depends on Sadio Mane going to Bayern Munich for the price that Liverpool wants for him. There's been a debate over that. Bayern Munich are trying to finesse Liverpool. Liverpool are saying, you guys are trying to get a lot of money for Lewandowski, whose contract is running down, so why shouldn't we get a lot of money for Sadio Mane? And then on the flip end, there's Darwin Núñez, obviously one of the hottest prospects around at the moment. Also linked to Manchester United, there are rumors that they might be trying to outbid because Ten Hag apparently likes the player, Jurgen Klopp likes the player. After only one season, one real breakthrough season, all this attention for him is surprising.
And it's really interesting. He's, from what I've read, especially considering Manchester United's stance on the player, they are saying that he's still too young, he's not fully proven, and they do not want to shell out that amount. We're hearing 100 million euros. They do not want to shell out 85 million pounds thereabout. They do not want to shell out that amount for a relatively unproven talent who will still need at least 1 or 2 seasons to prove himself in the Premier League. So that's where it stands for Manchester United. We're sure that Erik ten Hag likes the player, but the figure that Benfica is, asking.
Yeah, everybody is upset about the figure, but I feel like that might just be where we're at the moment, and that's probably what. I feel like he's probably going to go this window because there's a drought for young strikers.
Yeah,
after you look at Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, it's like So now that we've all just seen someone that looks like can do it, he scored 34 goals. And to be fair, he scored 2 goals against Liverpool in Champions League. He scored against Bayern Munich, scored against
and he was
Barcelona,
brilliant in all those games.
Scored 24 in 26 league games, 34 league goals. So he's definitely an impressive striker. He has the adoration of all these managers that you said, but seems a little too soon. But we'll see how it goes though.
Yeah, it kind of seems a little too soon. But talking about somebody who it's not too soon for him. Sadio Mane, I would want for you to let me know what you really feel about that move. Liverpool would definitely be missing out on
I think I spoke on
caliber.
this last time we were here. Sadio Mane, yes, Sadio Mane will be a massive loss to Liverpool. And even when you take aside his footballing ability, just his mentality, the mentality of the man is different. He steps up in big games, nothing phases him. And losing that, I think that would be big. And yeah, we're losing, and back to the player, we're losing a player who's capable of scoring 20 goals a season.
At least 20 goals a season,
10 assists. So yeah, we're going to have to make up for that. Maybe that's what the Luis Diaz signing was brought in. Maybe we still need more goals. I think we need more goals in the squad, and I guess that's why Núñez is being looked at.
Yeah, and that's interesting because everything seems to pan out well for Liverpool in that regard. If you get Darwin Núñez and you let Sadio Mane go, this guy can actually just slot in on that left-hand side.
Diaz
continues on the left-hand side. Darwin Núñez plays 9, or even Jota continues there.
Yeah, potentially. Jota and what's this lad? I forgot his name. That's how brand new he is. Jota and Núñez fight for the 9 shirts, perhaps.
Yeah, and yeah, that is interesting work for the new Liverpool sporting director. You all just signed Ward.
She's getting. No offense, but this is not how Edwards was moving, man. Edwards was not signing guys for 85M. Edwards was not losing out on his
But it's not his fault, really.
I didn't say it was his fault. All I'm saying is that the guy that was there before him, we weren't signing, we weren't being linked to unproven players for 85 million pounds. Maybe they all see something I don't, but yeah, I've said my piece.
Yeah, we can move on from Liverpool now and go to Paul Pogba and Manchester United. Where do you think Pogba should go to? We're hearing he's very likely to join Juventus this window, but there's still PSG in the running for his signature.
I feel Pogba back to Juve from one fan, that would be hilarious for United to lose Pogba again on a free. That would be quite funny. Juventus, I feel like Serie A he knows he suits his style of play. We've seen that already, and even just watching the league over the past few years, it tends to be that physical players that physically dominate are suited for the Italian league. It's a bit more tactical side of players. So if you can get the tactical aspect right and you're just bigger and stronger than your man, you'll succeed.
And of course,
yeah, as you were saying,
he has Allegri there. Allegri, was manager
all those years ago. So it does look like a move that, it's like a match made in heaven. I wonder if Juve will be able to pay these new wages because the Paul Pogba that they've lost is not the same Paul Pogba that they're getting back. His house is bigger now, his cars are madder now, his expenses are more. I don't know if Juve have what it takes
but you just have that feeling that he can still deliver at that level.
Yeah, but I feel like he's probably have to take a pay cut though. I don't see Juventus shelling out what Manchester United are shelling out. And United paid that money when he was a 23-year-old. Now he's 28 years old and he gets injured.
He's supposed to be at the peak of his career.
Supposed to be. Does he look like he used to?
I mean, that's the peculiarity of playing at Manchester United.
There is that. So it's an interesting move. I would like to see. I feel like it'd be interesting to see Paul Pogba go to Barcelona, involved in the Frankie de Jong transfer. I feel like Barca are trying to. They're also La Liga too. I've noticed this recently. They're trying to sign big physical players. Barcelona, they brought in Adama, Aubameyang. They're playing Ousmane Dembele. So it looks like they're going for a certain style of player. I don't want to say black player, but it's really like black player. So yeah, Pogba somehow involved in the Frankie de Jong deal. Who could be going to United? I feel like that could work for both parties.
I mean, I think we'll get to that point where we talk about what Manchester United need. But let us look at another transfer to Italy from England, Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku, the crybaby, has said he wants to go back to Inter. It did not work out for him at Chelsea, and now he's saying, let me go back to Inter. Maybe it will work.
Yeah, it's Lukaku is actually a very peculiar case. Like since he arrived at Chelsea, since he arrived in England, it's all been where the Manchester United stints, all the stuff with how his friendship with Pogba broke down, and he was stripped out. The relationship with United broke down, got to Chelsea, and like 3 months into being at Chelsea, he started saying that he doesn't like the manager, blah, blah, blah. Barely ever played. Funny enough, still finished the season at Chelsea, top goal scorer, I believe. But for him to be going back to Serie A, it just seems like a cowardly move. Like you came to the Premier League to prove yourself, and because you had one bad season, now you're like, yeah, packing up and going back to Inter.
You took the word out of my mouth.
And Inter, like, to be fair, Inter didn't win Serie A, but they didn't look like they missed Lukaku that much.
Facts.
But maybe now he's seeing it as he could just be the missing piece that they need to continue winning Serie A.
He doesn't think he's the missing piece they need. He thinks it will be easier for him there because, when he played there,
potentially, I feel like it's twofold. He feels like it will be easier for him, and he also feels like he will have a bit of leverage on Inter now, because if Inter had won the league the season after he left with a cheaper, older striker, then he looks like, what were you really doing here? But now he has a point that, as in, this league, they're my boys now. I'll secure Serie A back for you.
So Lukaku, very likely to leave Chelsea. And of course, Chelsea need the funds. Looking at everything that's going on in the club at the moment. And now let us move on from club football to international football. What's interesting now for me, and I'm sure for you too, is the Nations League. Why is the Nations League happening now?
It's so pointless.
What is the point, really? Players are fatigued, players are tired, they've had one of the longest seasons in recent memory.
Especially in the year where the World Cup is now coming again.
In December.
It's a money grab, and that's what we always say about UEFA and these football agencies. They don't really care about how many matches the players play in a year, as long as they get the bread. And they probably thought on the one hand that, okay, we have a lot of friendlies and it'd be nice to make these friendlies worth something, but making these friendlies worth something just means that the players have to compete almost just as hard as they have during the league. So players are going to get injured now. The players don't even care about it. The Burner lost a match and he's like, yeah, doesn't care, doesn't think they should be playing this competition.
I think it doesn't bode well for the quality of football generally. The quality of football is bound to reduce, and it's just unfortunate because the World Cup is where you're supposed to see, the greatest spectacle of football, and we're going to be seeing players that are generally fatigued and whatnot. So it doesn't look interesting for me. And just to wrap it up, let us talk about AFCON qualifiers. AFCON 2023 qualifiers. Nigeria played against Sierra Leone. They went down, at the beginning of the game, 1-0. But the Super Eagles came back. Iwobi scored, and he is the third Nigerian midfielder to score 10 plus goals for the Super Eagles.
That's impressive for Iwobi. It was big to see Osimhen get a goal as well. I think he's the best Nigerian player in the world at the moment. So him registering for the Super Eagles bodes well ahead of the AFCON Cup of Nations, if you can keep this going. It was good to see Pesero get his first win as manager after back-to-back losses. But to be fair, was expected. I mean, Sierra Leone are like ranked 104 in the world. And
but they've proven to be difficult opposition for us. The last time we played them, I think it was 4-4.
Yeah, but that's just because we are Nigeria being Nigeria. We should be we should be sweeping the team 70 places below you in the world. Right. Well, we made a meal of it, but I mean, can't complain, man. Can't have the W, man.
Yeah, and that win put us second in our group, and still looks good. Looks good. And the PFA announced winners of the Players Player of the Year, the Players Young Player of the Year, and amongst others.
And the women's awards too.
The women's awards too, and of course there were merit awards as well. I think Roy Hodgson won one.
Yeah.
But Mohamed Salah won the Men's Players Player of the Year
for the second time in his career, which puts him in an elusive club. I think Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, Kevin De Bruyne might be the only players to have accomplished this. A season where he picked up the Golden Boot, the top assist in the league, won the Premier League Player of the Year, won 2 trophies. Just another regular year for Mo Salah, so that was great to see.
But of course, there was that conversation. There was that conversation that we had about Heung-min Son not being given a nod.
Yeah, I felt like Heung-min Son should have been. Yeah, I felt like he definitely should have been at least a nominee because he had a fantastic season. And to see another Tottenham player nominated over him, I find interesting because I thought it was obvious that he was Tottenham's best player this season.
I think so too.
So I'm sorry, we can't even knew he was Tottenham's best player this season. So that was sad to see. Other than that, Phil Foden won his second PFA Young Player of the Year award. In a row. I thought that was a bit harsh on Bukayo Saka, but yeah, maybe that's just me.
Bukayo Saka is actually a really, really good shout. He's been Arsenal's best player over the past, I think, 2 seasons.
Yeah, you could probably...
Over the past 2 seasons.
And to be doing this at such a young age, I think he's improving year on before our very eyes. He's getting bigger, stronger, faster. Every game, his decision-making is improving. And I felt like I'd have been good team in that. But speaking of Young Player of the Year award winners, in the women's category, Lauren Hemp won the award. And this is her 4th time winning that award.
Young
How do
player.
you win a young player of the world?
4 times.
Like, isn't she getting old? Was she winning it when she was 12? So hats off to her and hats off to Chelsea, Sam Kerr,
Yeah,
for winning
Sam Kerr.
the Women's Player of the Year award. Top player.
But of course, it's a voting category, and Sadio Mane. Mohamed Salah had a lot to say. He was very grateful to
His fellow
to his
colleagues. And,
yeah, said thank you guys for. But let us know what you think. Should Son have won it over Salah? I mean, Salah definitely, probably, he was the best player this season. But
I think the question
considering-
really is, should Son have been considered?
Yes, should Son have been considered?
Yeah,
and also,
come on.
yeah. Should Son have been considered? I think he should have been considered.
Definitely, like, that's a 23 goals, no penalties scored. Like,
Facts.
you're telling me I was
Excellent
in top
season.
6 player, and it's not like he didn't even assist. He almost got double digits in assists as well.
Excellent season
Yeah,
for
Son
him, Son.
robbed.
Yeah,
Justice
robbed.
for Son, you mean?
But let us know what you think. Should Son have been considered? Should he have won it? And also, let us know what you think about the UEFA Nations League. It is very interesting. I mean, people that bet, they enjoy the opportunity to, to bet on these kinds of games. But let us know what you really think about the UEFA Nations League. And I think at this point, we can wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you guys for sticking with us on this episode. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
See you.